very basic difference of ingesting marijuana via an edible versus smoking or vaporizing it?
Sure. So the first thing is your body deals with cannabis very differently when it's ingested. If you're eating something, it's actually processed by the GI tract and processed by the liver. It changes from delta-9 THC to hydroxy-11, which is more potent. And the biggest thing is that takes time, right? When we drink wine with a meal, we don't get drunk like that, right? We let it kind of percolate and
Sure.
enjoy the experience. So edibles are very similar when consumed. There's other uptake or delivery systems, right? Your oral mucosa is a very efficient delivery system. Our mints, for example, are dissolved in the mouth, or tinctures, right, go under the tongue. Those are quicker. One of the hardest things about edibles is the delay and getting consumers to understand that you have to be patient. We are not a patient people. So there is a learning curve there, right? Education, we have to
Sure.
talk about it. We have to talk to tourists. We have to be able to have a dialogue and not be afraid to ask questions.
Especially because if we do have history with marijuana, maybe smoking marijuana, it's kind of an instant gratification thing. We know if we're at a 6 or even an 8 about 5 minutes in.
That's right.
Edibles, it can be anywhere from what, an hour, maybe sometimes more than 2?
Yeah, so the state language is this product may be delayed by 2 or more hours. What we see is, depending on the product type, really you're looking at 30 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on a lot of things, right? Are you eating an edible and then putting a meal right on top of that? That will get the THC into your system much faster than if you eat a meal and then take something. That is a slower process.
The state changed some of its regulations regarding labeling just earlier this year on February 1st, and part of that was being more explicit about this could take more than 2 hours. But I know before you guys were, before that regulation took place, Dixie had some really creative activation illustrations on the back of its products, and I'm wondering, have you guys tweaked those since the state's regulations have kind of caught up with you guys on that level?
Yeah, you know, we always continue to tweak those as we get feedback on how long products are taking to affect someone. We will adjust our barometer, right? It's a strength time scale, and one of the things we believe really strongly is we can have a whole paragraph of warnings that no one's going to read, or we can make a visual icon that someone's going to see and get information from quicker. So when we say that a serving size is 7 milligrams or 10 milligrams and it will take 60 minutes, that is an easier way for a consumer to understand faster what they need to do. And everything we do on our labels, as much as possible, is to get consumers to understand how to take that product and how to dose that product.